been in a room like this before.
So, you recognize me? Can you tell me what you know about me? Anything would help.
Oh, the unmitigated gall!
Stand down, Sebastian.
I will not, milady. I will not stand down for Leo, the fiend that made a fool of my princess.
Fiend? Me?
Have you no idea who she is? This is Princess Cheryl, heir to the Queendom of Vibra.
I still don't get it. You're saying I did what to the princess exactly?
Very well, Leo. I'll tell you exactly what you've done.
The Jilted Princess. Cheryl dashed out of the castle without a single guard at her side. For the first time in her life, she'd met a man who lived by his own rules. Up until that evening, she'd spent her life surrounded by courtiers who rested on their laurels and lived behind masks of flattery. What she'd felt that evening was love at first sight. There was no other way to describe it. She'd met him that night at a masquerade ball. It all started when he carelessly stepped on her toes.
Stop right there!
The man had started away without so much as an apology.
What do you want?
Do you know to whom you are speaking?
Sure, Princess Cheryl, am I right? So what? You ought to try walking through the city dressed like everyone else. See what it's like when nobody recognizes you. Under all this makeup you've got here.
He gestured at the palace around them.
The rich and the poor are all the same.
As the gathered nobles looked on with curiosity, he smiled impudently at the princess. It was more than Sebastian, her attendant, could bear.
How dare you speak to your princess like that? Identify yourself now!
Sebastian was livid.
Who, me? I'm nobody.
You scoundrel! Your mockery shall end here!
Stand down, Sebastian.
Cheryl said to her attendant.
I will deal with this man.
Way to handle that, princess.
The man shrugged his shoulders, unimpressed.
So tell me, who are you?
It's a masquerade, right? Taking my mask off would spoil the fun.
Very well. Then I shall remove mine.
Cheryl responded to the man's provocations with an equally provocative gesture. Her face bare, she stared dispassionately at the man.
Ah, a princess is willing to stoop down to my level. I can respect that.
The man removed his own mask. He gazed at Cheryl with clear eyes.
My name is Cheryl. What is yours?
Who cares?
Answer me.
Call me whatever you like. Besides, I snuck in here with a fake name anyway.
You're an odd one. But you should show a princess at least enough respect to tell her your name.
Leo.
So, Leo, to whom do I owe the honor of your presence tonight?
I'm here alone, of course. Say, what if I were to tell you that I came here tonight to steal something?
I'd say you were rather bold. I've never heard of a burglar so eager to identify himself.
The man who called himself Leo ignored her barbs and excused himself from the conversation.
It's been fun, but it's time for me to go.
Cheryl was dumbfounded.
Good night, princess.
Leo gave an exaggerated bow like a harlequin and turned to walk away.
Wait!
Cheryl called out towards Leo's back. Leo stopped and looked back over his shoulder, awaiting her next words.
You shall meet with me once again.
Whoa, whoa. Hang on a second. Hasn't anyone ever taught you manners? A please wouldn't hurt.
For a brief moment, Cheryl flushed with rage. No one had ever dared to speak to her in such a way before.
Very well. Please, meet with me again.
Bored though he was, Cheryl did not want Leo to leave. She found herself longing to know more about him down in the depths of her heart.
Well...
Leo hesitated, teasingly. Cheryl felt her eyes tremble at the thought of his refusal.
I guess I can oblige, but not at the palace. I hate this place. A week from now, at noon in the public square. If you promise me you'll show up alone, I'll meet with you.
In that case, consider it a lunch date. I hope you'll show me what the nation looks like through your eyes.
Said Cheryl all in one breath. Leo waved as he walked away without another word. The promised day came at last. Cheryl came to the square as she told Leo she would. She arrived just before noon and settled in to wait for him. Sebastian insisted on keeping an eye on her, but after a long argument, he agreed to keep out of her sight. Cheryl was dressed like a commoner, without any of her usual finery. She'd left her flashy jewelry behind and kept her makeup simple. To top it off, she carried a basket packed with a picnic lunch so large that she needed both hands to hold it. Nobody recognized her as Princess Cheryl. She thought she heard whispers about her passing resemblance, but not a single person in the square approached her directly. Cheryl couldn't help chuckling at herself while she waited for Leo. He was right. Without the trappings of royalty Leo had called makeup, there were no voices calling out to her in praise, awe, or adoration.
We're all the same. We're all human beings.
Cheryl muttered to herself, embarrassed by her own ignorance. This was something she never could have understood before, surrounded by guards and courtiers in the royal palace. An hour passed. Then 3. Then 5. Cheryl waited and waited, but Leo never showed up. The sun went down and the public square grew quiet. Had something happened to him? Maybe he'd had an urgent matter to attend to and couldn't send anyone to notify her. Feelings of uncertainty cycled through Cheryl's mind. Cheryl stood alone under the streetlights. A gust of lukewarm wind blew past her, and heavy droplets of rain began to fall. Though deeply disheartened, Cheryl continued to look out into the night, a firm expression on her face, a stiff upper lip. Growing up in the royal palace, she'd learned that such a demeanor was expected of nobility. Sebastian had seen her suffer enough. He walked to her side and held an umbrella over her head.
Princess, it's now well after sundown. Please, let us return before you catch cold from the rain. The people of the castle surely worry for your safety, so...
Brushing her soaking hair out of her face, Cheryl packed up the lunch she had prepared for Leo.
Let us head back. I'm sure everyone must be worried sick.
Cheryl dragged her feet, numb from a long day of standing, towards the palace. The rain grew stronger. The lights in the palace windows began to wane. Sebastian could see that Cheryl's slender shoulders were trembling. Anger towards Leo flared within him once more.
Pah! That insolent wretch! Such disrespect towards the princess is worthy of 100 deaths! When I find him, I swear...
Cheryl was inconsolable. Her frustration towards Leo for standing her up, and her anger with herself for ever trusting him, only grew inside her as the days, weeks, and months passed by.
So I promised to meet you, and then I stood you up. Not that it makes it any better, but, I seriously don't remember any of that?
I see. I suppose what's done is done. I too shall forget it.
Pah! You think you can weasel out of it with an "I don't remember"? The princess waited 5 hours for you.
It's all right, Sebastian.
No, I shan't let this pass.
Listen, you contemptuous whelp.
If you cannot remember the pain you've caused the princess,
I shall beat some new pain into you.